Hey everyone, it is Coach Jeff from Team PRS Fit, and I want to talk a little bit today about natural running and some a great new product that has just come out on the market in one of the Altra shoes that I think is going to be a revolutionary new product in the long run. But before I go into that, let's talk about this term natural running and minimalism. I hate this word minimalism because there's so many different definitions of what it's all about. And I'm really not even crazy about all the form stuff that's out there today. So many people are getting so confused about what really needs to be done when you're running. The bottom line is you were meant to run. We were all meant to run. If you lean the body forward a little bit, the legs come down underneath the center of mass with your knees slightly flexed, your head nice and relaxed, the body nice and relaxed, working in harmony with each other with a minimal amount of movement. That's what we were supposed to do. And we call it easy form running. And we call it easy form running because that's what we want you to do. We just want you to relax and run. Let the lower leg relax. Let the head get in, just get into whatever is around you. Take the sound off the ground. You hear me say that all the time. No sound on the ground. If you can't hear your feet as you're moving along through motion, then you're running properly and you're running in a good place. Your impact is really, really minimalized because you're not getting a slam on the ground. So one of the things that happened back in the 70s, we started talking about how everyone was an overpronator and how when they would come from their heel and roll through their toe, they would get this drop on the inside of their ankle. People who are flat-footed have a tendency to do that. Well, that's a beautiful thing, and it's a true thing. When you go from your heel to your toe, if you do have that drop in your ankle, if you are flat-footed, you will get that roll. However, if you're running naturally and you're up on that mid-foot area, forefoot area of your foot, that doesn't happen because what does happen when instead of going from here to here, where you go from that loose adapter in the heel, as you can see in the Ultra, the nice round heel area, if you're going from that loose adapter in the heel to here, anything can happen. But when the foot comes down in its natural position like this and gets off the ground like that, you almost completely eliminate that overpronation motion that you get that starts in the back of the heel. But what happened was the shoe companies decided, well, they're going to fix that. First, we're going to teach everybody how to run with a walking gait because from heel to toe is a walking gait. I mean, that's the way you were designed to walk. We all walk like that. Even if you're a natural runner, you walk heel to toe. That's the way you were designed to run. So what they did, they said, well, let's help people get through that. And let's make sure that their foot doesn't roll through so they don't have these ankle injuries. Rather than correct the form, they made a shoe that adapted to the form. And they took these shoes and they put these big medial posts in. And what this medial post is basically in most shoes is a very dense form of ethyl vinyl acetate, which is EVA. The same thing this is made out of, but very, very dense. So rather than your foot dropping down in, when your foot came like this, boom, it stopped. It didn't go any further. And then you rolled through and you pushed out of your toe. So what happened is that area in the ankle and that area where the tendons connect to the bones that allow your foot to have arch, they just got weaker because all they were being was stopped from their natural motion and not allowed to work. Look, if I want to make my biceps stronger, I lift and I exercise it and I work it and I work it naturally and I work in the natural motions that I use it in every day. I like to call it functional exercises. All my lifting is functional exercise so that the muscles that support the joints and the ligaments and the tendons in my body, they go through functional strengthening. And that functional strengthening allows me to perform the way that my body was designed to perform. So what happens is, along comes Vibram, or Vibram, however you'd like to say it, with the 5-finger. Great shoe, allows your foot to perform 100% naturally. There is nothing unnatural about this shoe. Only problem that I ever see with this shoe, and by the way, my wife loves this shoe, the only problem I ever see with this shoe is that the fact that you get no protection from the ground whatsoever. And on man-made surfaces, our feet need protection. Look, we just watched a video the other day by Dr. Mark Cucuzella, who is probably one of the prettiest runners alive, running barefoot through the roads. Well, I know Mark personally. I've had the chance to spend a lot of hours with Mark and learn about running form and running properly with Mark. And Mark runs in shoes. And he runs in shoes because of man-made surfaces. Man-made surfaces, blacktop, macadam, they hurt your feet. So great product that this is for strengthening the areas in your foot that need to be strengthened. It really, to me, isn't the most practical shoe on the market, and I'm sorry, Vibram, but that's just the way I feel. So along come the guys at Altra, who've designed probably what I think is the greatest natural, and I'm going to say this again, natural running shoe on the market today. And why do I say natural? Because there's no gimmicks in this shoe. There's no dynamic return that comes from something else. It comes from your body's ability to perform naturally. The shoe is shaped naturally. From heel to toe, it is shaped like your foot. So when your foot hits the ground, your toes are allowed to splayed out like they were designed to do. Your foot is allowed to settle with balance like it was designed to do. Your lower leg, your calf, your Achilles will all relax down into a very natural position, and then it gets off the ground naturally. You know, there's no things in the front that push you up in the air. There's no extra load in this shoe that can stress the calf or the Achilles. It just allows you to run very, very naturally. Now, does that necessarily fix a biomechanical or physiological issue that you may have? Look, I have torn tendons in my foot. I'm not going to show you, but I stepped on a rock a couple of years back on a trail run, and when I stepped on that rock, I tore the PTT, the posterior tib tendons that run down in and connect in my ankle. So I ran with a lot of pain, and I didn't know what to do. Well, I went out and I got some orthotics made. These orthotics were very, very nice. These are actually a good orthotic as far as custom orthotics go, because they're very, very soft. They're very pliable. They're not very rigid. However, they do set my foot inside the shoe slightly like this, which is not where you want your foot to be. Body alignment, foot position is everything in running, and that's where you want your foot. You want it in a natural position. And again, because it has the rigidity through the area where my injury is, although there's nothing you can do other than surgery to fix those tears, this doesn't allow my foot to strengthen naturally in that area and get support where I need support. Now, some of you are late stage pronators, and some of you, are always nervous about that, and you want an additional support. Well, what Altra has done is they've come out with the dynamic insole, the dynamic support insole. This has to be one of the coolest devices ever made. Very, very flexible. Why is it flexible? Because Altra believes in strengthening the foot. It's been shown that people who strengthen their foot actually are going to suffer less injuries over a longer period of time. What they did is they've taken this 1 millimeter on the outside, 3 millimeters, as you can see, 3 millimeters on the inside, 1 millimeter on the outside. This allows that little bit of extra support for the pronator that you can drop right on top of your regular insole, under your regular insole, with or without your insole. I'm using this now on my horrifically damaged feet, and it is working magnificently. I feel my foot getting stronger and stronger all the time. Again, is it going to fix these tears in the tendons? Absolutely not. But it is strengthening everything else around, and it does it while allowing my foot to work naturally. And again, that's what we talk about. We want our bodies to work in harmony and as naturally as they were designed to do. And especially when we're running, the more fight you have in your run, the more energy you use. The more muscles you engage, the more energy you use. The more body movement there is, the more energy you use. You really want to learn how to just be nice and relaxed when you run. You want to learn how to be very, very quiet when you run. Most importantly, you really, really, really want to have a good time. You want your head to be free. You want it to go along in the mountains, if you're in the mountains, along the beach, wherever you're at. You want to enjoy what you're doing. That's what we try to teach our people how to do, how to run smooth, how to run sound free. We call it no sound on the ground. The less sound there is, the better, the less impact there is, the easier you're running with your form. For those of you who are overpronators, for those of you who are looking for some kind of stability device, I would say in the next couple of years, this is going to revolutionize the industry, because it is going to allow you to have additional foot strength, and it's going to give you that additional little support that you may need on the inside area of your foot. Again, 1 millimeter on the outside, 3 millimeters on the inside. It is dynamic, so it works with your foot in a very natural motion. If you have any questions, you can always reach out, give me a holler, prsfit@gmail.com. I'll be happy to talk to you anytime. Most importantly, as we always say, be healthy, train smart, have fun, and have a heck of a great day.